Fashion Flair lifestyle. Fashion Flair lifestyle. Yeah. What's the topic for today? Come and join in, relax and listen for a while. Entrepreneurs, artists, or whatever you do, let's talk about you.
And here's your host on this rainy Saturday with curls, Miss Osnita Norman.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. And, of course, thank you for tuning in and listening to Fashion, Flair, and Lifestyle. Of course, Glenn already introduced me. You know who I am. I'm Osnita, and I am in Michigan, of course. And guess what? It's rainy, and it's a little cold out there. So it's a nice 48 degrees currently. The high will be 50, the low will be 37. As I was told before the show started, one of my, how can I say that? One of my friends at the radio station told me I was glowing for the rainy day. And I said, that's right. I can't let the rain stop the glow.
Rock brought some of them New York lies to town with him. Glenn, not today, okay? I've already been geeked up, so it's going to take can't bring me down. New York lies to town with him. Talking about you glowing.
So, of course, everyone, of course, we would love for you to call in 248-429-7224. And also, you can listen to us live on several social media outlets. We have Vent Radio app. You can listen if you can't watch. Twitch.tv, Facebook under Glenn Cannon, Mixcloud. We are on Vent Radio 313. And of course, we are live on Vent Radio, and that is the plus sign. So Vent Radio, one word, plus on YouTube.
Oh man, she nailed it. And we're also on Twitter under Vent Radio.
That's it. Yep. And today's show, of course, is sponsored by Pure Essence Resale Boutique, where we capture the essence of your style. Of course, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, both under Pure Essence Resale, and then the website is pureessenceresale.com for all your budget-friendly resale finds. And I'm doing well today. If you care to know, I'm doing well. And we always have to check in with Glenn to see how he's doing. How you doing today, Glenn?
Everything's pimpish.
Pimpish?
Pimpish.
Okay, well, y'all, Glenn is in his pimpish mode. I don't know.
I'm feeling really, really good and fortunate. Beautiful Noise, the movie, I can confirm will premiere here in Detroit on May 21st at the Bel Air Theater Complex.
Hold up, Glenn. You tell me we going on a big screen?
Absolutely, baby. We have made it to the big screen.
Well, I'm very, very excited about that. Wow, yeah, we'll talk about Beautiful Noise as we get into the show. But as you can see today, I didn't have to ask Glenn what's going on. He told us what's going on. So what's going on with Street Noise Entertainment is, and the writer, producer Sterling Glenn, is Beautiful Noise will be premiering. And of course you will have some Vent Radio.
Absolutely.
Host in the movie, of course, along with several writer miss and Street Noise Entertainment. What do you call it? Street Noise Entertainment artists will be in the movie also.
Yep.
With a host of others.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm excited about this. I know you excited, Glenn, because we been working on this film for, it's almost been a year.
Yep, it's almost been a year.
Yeah. And it's funny, I think, is this around the time you mentioned the opportunity to me?
I believe so. Which,
yeah,
teaches us that it takes time to make a quality product. It takes time.
Well, think about it like this. It will premiere a month before we started filming in California.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think we began filming like June 20th or the 21st?
Nita, you better with those dates than I am, but
it was. Let me get some exacts in here because I want to be exact. Okay, so actually it's earlier because you guys went to California probably like June 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Oh, that's July. No, I'm right, Glenn.
Are you right?
That Monday. It started that Monday, which was June 21st.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we are, I think I might have came a couple days, but June 21st is when it started all the way through the 30th. And is when, so we are premiering 11 months before, after we film. So that's good. Right on track.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Well, we'll talk more about Beautiful Noise in just a little bit, but let me just go over my fashion fact. And of course, today's show we're going to discuss spring fashion. And a lot of times we see so many fashion trends that we as, consumers feel like we have to keep up with. But if you watch the show or if you listen to me, I don't really feel like you have to keep up. It's a personal thing. So I asked who creates seasonal fashion. You go from winter, spring to summer and fall, and for each season there's different colors. There's different type of clothing, whether it be denim, whether it be the type of shoe, whether it be the type of heel. You know what I mean? So it's so much that goes into what's trending, what's fashionable. And of course, by me being a resale boutique owner, I push style. Like, fashion is cool. You can love fashion. You can like fashion. But fashion to me, is like almost nothing when you don't have that style to exude the swag, with the fashions that you have on. So who sets the trends? Guess what? There's no one who has to decide that something is a trend. That is simply something that happens. If you only have one person wearing a specific kind of shirt, you cannot say that you have a trend. That's considered style. Officially, like, seasons are divided into 4 seasons. You have spring and summer, winter and fall, or some call it autumn and winter. And then you have what brings the fashions into to the consumers is the different fashion shows that you have in New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. Some that they don't highlight all the time. They highlight them, but it just depends on what area, what media outlets you pay attention to. And speaking of Fashion Week, my best friend, she's like a sister to me, but her nephew has a clothing line. It's called Rebel, Stay Rebel, and he was asked to be to put his line in Paris Fashion Week just a few weeks ago. So shout out to Ryan for making from Detroit to Paris, and he's currently a student at Michigan State, and he'll be graduating this summer. Well, not summer, but this spring. So congratulations to Ryan on his line Stay Rebel and being in Paris Fashion Week. And the most interesting thing is that they asked for him. And Ryan is, I don't think he's 21 yet. I think he'll be 20. Well, he's probably 21, almost 22. So they requested his presence. They requested his line. So he went with his mom, and she said the experience was great. He had a really, really tight schedule, interviews, and they did a couple. He was on the news here in Michigan, and they did a couple write-ups on him in, different magazines here as well. So shout out to Ryan, a state rebel. So, of course, spring fashion. So what's the colors? I'm not a big color person. Glenn, are you a big color person?
I do like color. Especially I like to look at color on women. But yeah, I'll take some chances with colors.
So what color will you not? Is there a color that you absolutely will not wear?
Well, I never say never, but I've never wore pink.
Not even a pink dress shirt?
Nope, I've never had a pink dress shirt even.
Really?
No.
Now, speaking of pink, and when it comes to men and wearing pink, I'm not a big fan of pink on men. However, they say real men wear pink, whatever. I think it just
depends. They say a whole lot of stuff.
I know, but that's just like a phrase that you hear. I think it takes a certain type of person. I'm gonna say your look and your style can pull off certain colors for some people.
Yeah.
But pink dress shirts, I like pink dress shirts. I've seen men in pink suits. Some I've liked, some not. One thing about certain colors is that you have to have quality material when you're wearing loud, bright colors to me.
Rock's up here with a pink jumpsuit on.
Really?
You talking about really?
I can't see Rock wearing no pink jumpsuit. He might have a hoodie with some pink or something in it, but you know what? I think he said pink was one of his favorite colors. I think he did share that with us on the trip. We were talking about colors.
I don't equate the color pink to mean feminine. I don't.
Nope.
I've just never worn any pink.
Right. I don't think pink is like considered feminine. I think it's just a color. Like every color don't look good on everyone.
Right.
Like black is a color, it's a color that kind of goes across the board. But then yellow or turquoise or green may be a color that don't fit everyone.
Nah, I kill some turquoise now.
Right. Guess what?
I got
turquoise.
I got some turquoise gaiters I can't wait to put on.
You got some turquoise gaiters?
Mm-hmm.
You wear them to the premiere?
I doubt it.
Oh, that'd be sweet with a white suit. Cream suit. Thin pinstripes. That might not be a bad look, Glenn. For me, I wasn't fond of royal blue or turquoise. Right?
Now, I love both those colors. I love to do royal blue, with some navy blue.
But what I found, what I learned in wearing those colors, that they look nice on me. Like that's a color that look nice on me. So, that'll be one of my go-to colors. It wasn't my favorite, but now I've learned that color really brings my complexion out. Hair, just a lot of different things, and it just looks nice on me. So I will gear my style, not my style, but my color palette in that direction going forward. I have been, but in the past, never. I don't like that. So the trending colors for spring is soft lilac, canary yellow, hot pink, salted caramel. I'm gonna assume that's like a taupe caramel, like light brown.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet, which is like deep red, and then sky blue. So you have and then also the greens, the lime greens are back. The Kelly green. I like the Kelly green. I love green. And one of my favorite prints is camouflage. I love
Yeah,
camo.
you do wear a lot of camouflage.
I love it. Purses.
I was wondering if you thought you was in the Marines or something. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
No. I'm just always ready for war. You know how they say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. So when I got my camo on, I'm ready for whatever gonna come my way.
You had your camouflage on, and then as soon as the war break out, all we can see is you running.
You might be right. You might be right, but I don't know why. I love that print, and then I also like a cheetah and animal print. But again, like I said, it just all depends on what you like and what colors look best on you. I say I don't care what's trending. If it's not a good color for your complexion, your personality, your attitude, then I wouldn't do it. So it'd do like that. So guess what they're bringing back?
What's that?
Women in suits.
I got to get out an applause.
So they're coming back with the remember, I can't remember when, but when you wear your blazer, well, not your blazer, but it's a pantsuit, and it's a matching. Actually, if you paid attention to Sierra, she had on a tone on one color pantsuit for Russell Wilson being welcome into the Denver Broncos, which is the new team he'll be playing for. So the one color suits are back, and okay. Sierra's was fitted, but they're bringing back the baggy, look that goes with the pantsuits as well.
Okay.
So that's coming back. Oh, guess what? So is fanny packs.
Fatty packs?
Fanny packs.
Fanny packs are coming back?
Yes. But
all that do is highlight them guts.
Well, they wear them different now.
What, they wear them on the side?
You know how the guys be wearing them across their shoulder, like they call it the man purse thing? Mm-hmm. It's really a fanny pack. Just across you.
Okay.
So most guys, they call them man purses, but they're like, it's a fanny pack, but you just don't wear it around your waist.
Oh, okay.
Overalls will be trending.
Now I could probably rock some overalls.
We're gonna put you an overall on with a cowboy hat and a turtleneck.
Oh yeah. See, that's me. And I'm gonna cut them off at the knees. So I'll have overall shorts.
Please don't come to the BBS Boy and Vin Radio picnic with some cut off overalls and some socks with cigarettes in the top of your socks. I think
that's what I'm gonna rock for the family fun day.
Well, okay. If it works for you, Glenn, it works for you. I'm still gonna speak to you, take pictures with you and everything, okay?
Okay.
We won't talk about you. But as I discussed earlier, bow suits are coming back. So that's the suits with the matching jacket, pants, all one color. Not a whole lot of mixy-matchy going on. Yep, so you're doing the bold colors. Mike, we talked about this last week a bit, about the mini skirts coming back. And I said, I'm not wearing one. I wear a short skirt, but not a mini skirt. And it says all things that are Y2K. So fashion, of course, they said, well, not they, but fashion, of course, repeats itself. So a lot of the trends that were hot back in the early 2000s are kind of, hot, trending right about now. So, if you like fringe, that's another trending hookup. And like I say, matching maximal ensembles. Maximal ensembles is when you have extravagant, um, like bright suiting silhouettes with all the fixings. So it says a look like this can be worn together or styled separately to give your wardrobe excitement from just the jacket, the pants, and then your whatever your accessories are. Another thing is you see ladies wearing a lot of sheer. So you have actually funny thing is that this lady, I was watching this lady do a live, and she had on the sheer it was sheer lace. It was a lace like suit top, but it was over these toned pants that was close to her complexion. And I didn't think the lady had no pants on. And I was sitting there watching like, how could she come on this live like this? I can't believe this is what she wore. And then I saw some sparkle underneath, and it was her pants. So you're layering like, a sheer lace top that may come to your thigh with a blazer, and then you can wear some long boots under it. It just all depends. The parachute pants are trending. So it seems like fashion is going towards a more loose fitting trend. I'm a fan of both. I come up in the era where, we wore our clothes more baggier than fitted. If you like feathers are trending. And then, of course, color blocking. So you might say color blocking, like what the heck is color blocking? Glenn, you ever heard of color blocking?
No, I haven't. I've never heard that term.
So, speaking of color blocking, I was watching an interview with that Steve Harvey did on a podcast, and they were talking about how his fashion and how his style has changed, or evolved, right? Mm-hmm. So he was talking about how he didn't want to get rid of his baggy suits, but he took a chance. And he said, but he still believed in his shoes had to match his belt, and his belt and shoes, of course, had to coordinate with his tie and his pocket handkerchief for his suits.
Pocket square. Pocket square.
That's what you call it. Yeah, pocket square. I should know these things. Speaking of pocket square, let me tell you, this is so funny. My father. Men, they tie their ties, right? So he would usually tie his tie on, I don't know, Saturday nights, but then sometimes he would tie them on Sunday morning. So he would, of course, call one of us downstairs, and we would have to stand like this.
Mm-hmm.
For him to tie his tie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the funniest part is, Glenn, he would say, don't move. Glenn, so you standing there like this, and he yanking on the tie like this.
And you gotta try not to move.
Stop moving. So you be like, and he just be, wrapping around and pulling and all of that stuff to go with a tie. I mean, that it takes to make what is it called? The knot in your tie. Right. I'm like, why are you gonna tell me not to move, but you pulling my arm? But okay. Wow. But I thought that was just funny. But he was literally, I would sit there, and, he would just tie the tie. But anyway, so Steve Harvey was talking about how he always, he from the old school, he believed in matching a certain type of way. And one of his wardrobe stylists talked him into color blocking. So let me talk about what color blocking is. It says, let's see. Oh, here we go. All right. Monochromatic looks are getting a refresh this season thanks to the intricate color blocking trend. And celebrity stylist Mickey Freeman is looking forward to the look being reinterpreted by way of interesting silhouettes. I also love to see women embrace looks that are equal parts, I guess, utilitarian and feminine. That didn't really go with what I was going, but basically color blocking is like the girl, she has on yellow pants. Okay, in this picture I'm looking at, a printed shirt that has green and yellow in it, but then her block of color is a green coat and a pink purse. So color blocking is colors that you're not matchy, but your colors flow. So your main color is yellow, and the colors that surround it also matches with yellow. Mm. So that's what color blocking is. It's like having one main color and other colors feed off of.
Right.
To where, it looks like, I would have never thought to put those 2 or 3 colors together. Hmm. Yeah, but Steve Harvey, like I say, and listen to his interview, he said he just knew that he didn't mind the change and the change in the trends, but he knew he wanted to be comfortable. So he's like, the way you see me on TV and then the way I am at home is like totally different. He said, so it took him a while to get out of his norm, which was, the suits and making sure everything matched, to, being able to embrace color and a little bit of change.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people, men and women, can do that. Sometimes like we all are stuck in our ways of how we like to dress and what we like to look like, but it's nothing wrong with change. Because sometimes what people don't realize is that colors can refresh your mood. Colors can refresh your thought process. Sometimes if you always wearing, just say black, you can
like
be
me.
Settle. Huh?
Like me.
You always wear black, Glenn?
I wear a lot of black. Yeah, I like black.
Me too. I do too. But sometimes, like you might want to step outside your norm. Like you said, I have my turquoise shoes that I want to wear. So guess what? When you put those shoes on and you find the right or the perfect outfit to go with them, it's going to brighten your mood. Of course, you'll probably be going somewhere, you'd be excited about going to the event, but then also knowing that I have on these shoes I've been dying to match something with.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's nothing wrong with, it's nothing wrong with changing your style, and trying new fashions.
Yeah, I think change is good.
I think it's good. I think it works for everybody. So you just have to find out, like I always talk about, what works for your style, what works for your shape and your size. So that's that's what I want to highlight about our spring fashion today. And Glenn, do you have a video for us to?
I found this young lady. Let's hear what she has to say about top wearables for spring 2022.
The top spring fashion trends that we can expect to see sooner rather than later. I also wanted to get in early in case you decided to spring clean your closet and remove any of these key pieces. I also would like to thank Klarna for sponsoring a small portion of today's episode, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them as we go on. But let's talk spring fashion. Now, this first trend is a little unexpected, and to be fair, it's not going to be huge, but it's fun and quirky and definitely worth a mention, and that is for crafty, embellished denim jeans. Now, we all know that the rise this year is low rise if we're kind of looking at the key trends. We also know that dark denim is coming back as a real sort of hot favorite for the year, but these crafty, hand-painted, embellished denim jeans are also going to be a look for spring. Now, I'm all here for it. I bought a pair of hand-painted denim jeans. I'll show them to you now. I'll do a little B-roll clip for you so you can see them. I bought them a couple of years ago. I absolutely love them. Get regular comments on them. They look pretty standard from the front, but they've just got this interesting detail on the back pocket. And that's what we can expect to see this season. Just your classic denim jeans with a little bit of something that gives them a little bit of edge. And for that reason, I've included them on the list because I think that they're wearable and they're just a little bit of fun. Also, it's a way that you can DIY your favorite pair of jeans and just give them a new modern, little fresh makeover. The next trend that we can expect to see quite a bit of in spring is the return of denim skirts. Now, I'm not talking your classic denim skirt. I'm wearing a short denim skirt. We're in the middle of summer here in New Zealand, but the denim skirts that I am seeing are a little longer, they're a little floatier, so they're just a little bit more fun than your traditional denim skirt. The reason I've added these skirts to this list is because obviously denim is such a classic. It is a fabrication that doesn't go out of style, so these denim skirts would be a great investment because they will be really wearable for years to come. And if you're brave enough, what I have seen is them being paired with a denim style shirt or a jacket for that double denim look. Now, you don't have to wear them like that, but definitely these denim skirts that, as I said, are a little fuller, a little floatier. I've seen some two-tone interesting denim skirts with one half a slightly lighter wash than the other. There's some interest going on there, but they are slightly longer, and I think that that's a really forgiving.
Okay, I guess you know what she's talking about.
So she talked about denim, and denim is always in. But like she talked about embellishing and painting. So again, it all depends on your style. So you can. I know one lady I know who's a designer. She make junk jeans. Junk jeans is considered jeans with stuff on them. So she has all kind of jewelry and cuts and all kind of stuff in her, in her designs, and people buy them. She do the jackets, she do the pants and the jackets. And then I just recently saw another young lady on social media that does these, like, you know what leg warmers are?
Yeah, I do.
But hers were more like denim leg warmers, but not leg warmers.
I wanted to do a jean, the traditional jean jacket and jeans, and I wanted to embellish them with a whole bunch of different stuff on them. Just to switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
I know my kids are probably gonna say, "Dad, you too old for that now."
No, but you can get nice patches.
Yeah.
To go on them, depending. You might want to get your Vent Radio logo on the back. You might want to get your Street Noise Entertainment on the back. And have things as it relates to whatever it is you want to put on there. If it's not music, then you can make it another subject.
Yeah.
So you can have a busy jacket and maybe a plain jean, or vice versa.
Okay, well, I am going to put the official movie poster up right next to Nita. And there it is. And this is our movie that Osnita is the wardrobe stylist for the film. And that's about all I'm going to tell you. And May 21st, doors open at 6:30, red carpet. Movie starts at 7:30, and Beautiful Noise will be on the big screen. We'll be premiering it on, again, May 21st, 2020. And we're looking for everybody to purchase a ticket and come out and enjoy the film and meet the cast and hang out. And then after we watch the film, we're going to have an after party.
An after party?
Yes.
So it's the after party. Okay.
Yeah. So there it is right there. Can you see it, Nita?
I can see it.
Okay.
Yes, I do. It's on my screen. It's on this side. I can see it, and I like I said, I looked at the social media post that you posted, and then that Sterling posted, and I was just looking like, wow. Like, I don't think people would be amazed at the time frame that we shot this movie in.
Yeah.
We had a tight time
schedule.
frame. It got done though. It got done. So, Beautiful Noise. If I could describe what the I think the title tells you pretty much what it is, but it's a lot of twists and turns in the movie. And then if you could relate that movie to life, there's a lot of twists and turns in your life when you are on a journey. You know, whether it's music, whether it's self, whether it's career path, entrepreneurial, it's always a journey. And what you have to realize is it might not start out as beautiful as you want it to, but then throughout that, those transitional stages, it can become beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's in a synopsis of what the movie is about. And of course, you got Luz and Melody, who killed it.
Yeah, it's starring Melody Renee and Luz Cannon with a great supporting cast, and we got some surprises in the movie. So get your tickets and come on out and have a great time. Again, that'll be May 21st at the Bel Air Theater Complex. Okay, so you can, if you want to contact Nita for tickets, she'll have tickets, and we want to see your place in the face to celebrate this joyous event where we are going to premiere our film Beautiful Noise, and the film is produced by Street Noise Rodimus Entertainment in conjunction with director Sterling G. Davis. And it's a great family-friendly movie. So the whole family can come out and have a great time.
Yeah, so y'all be on the lookout for Beautiful Noise. And like you said, there are some surprises in the movie.
Yes.
So, is there a theme song to the movie?
Yes, there is a soundtrack. In fact, the soundtrack is throughout the movie, and then the soundtrack will be available for purchase and streaming on all the digital platforms. And the soundtrack will be called Beautiful Noise. There is a title track on the soundtrack with Melody Renee featuring Luz Cannon called Beautiful Noise.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out why didn't nobody ask me to get on the track.
Yeah, because we wanted people to be able to enjoy the music. We didn't want to get no lawsuits for somebody losing their hearing trying to listen to it.
Glenn, you a hater, okay? You know I can sing.
Baby, listen, I'll listen to you.
Rock to my baby, listen, I listen to your song.
It's called Beautiful.
Glenn, you know thank you, Rock. Thank you so much for believing in me. All it takes is one.
All right, then. Well, let's put it to the test right now. Osnita, we want you to sing your favorite song right now.
My favorite song?
Your favorite song. Hit
Hold
it.
on. Okay. My favorite song is Mary J. All Night Long. So I sing this to karaoke.
Okay.
It's going to give y'all maybe I don't know nothing about bars, just maybe about 2 lines.
Okay.
All right. Okay. 1, 2. I can't do it.
Girl, you better go on and hit it.
Glenn, I can't.
I believe in you.
What kind of shit is that?
So I guess it's all a lie.
What'd he say?
Nothing.
You better go on and hit them notes, girl.
I can't, Glenn. I don't want to embarrass myself
Well,
just
I
yet.
hear it in your head, so it sounds good to me.
He say he hear it in your head, so it sounds good to him.
So we just gonna keep it there then.
Okay.
But in my head, yeah, it sounds good.
Now,
But what's gonna come out, I'm not sure without the music.
now, see, I gave you an audition, and
I failed.
you failed.
It's okay. I'm not trying to pursue that part of my. Nah, you ain't hurt. It's okay. I choked on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't ready for it, Glenn. I really be talking junk. Okay.
Man, I'm trying to give you a chance to have your
Hey, look, that's gonna be the name
worldwide
of your movie.
debut.
That's about to be the name
Let
of
me
your
turn
new-
this mic. Yeah, that mic
That's
right
about
there
to
is
be the
on.
name of your movie. I choked on it.
Cut rock mic off.
Cut him off.
Cut it off. Cut his mic off.
Okay.
Cause that didn't sound good.
Say that didn't sound good, huh?
No, that didn't sound right.
Real good.
No, tell that ain't sound right. That sound real did not right. So let's, Glenn, you're a father and I'm a mother. So we're gonna transition to celebrity news.
Okay.
You're a father, I'm a mother. And like when you're a young woman and once you reach a certain age, people and you don't have children, people always asking you when you gonna have kids or why you don't want kids or why don't you have a baby or why ain't got a man to have a baby, stuff like that. And it's been trending about Mary J. and Vice saying that she liked having her free time. She liked having her time to herself because they asked her about she's 50 years old. Of course, she don't have any children, and they were asking her, "Do you feel, like dang, like I wish I had children at some point in my life?" And she was like, "No." She said, I have nieces and nephews, and she said, I'm good without having no children. She said, I like my free time. I like to be able to get up and move whenever I feel like it. And she said, and plus, she said, I don't want to deal with the babysitting issues. She said, I've seen so many of, people that I'm around with children have babysitter issues. And she said, I like my free time. And that's nothing that I that I feel like I missed out on. So do you think, like, why do people think just because you're a woman or just because you're a man that you have to have children?
Well, I think that firstly, we were put here on this earth to be fruitful and multiply, if you will. I think that is the only reason that we exist. And I don't believe Mary, respectfully, I don't believe Mary when she says that she didn't want to experience motherhood. I believe that a lot of women who, for whatever reason, either can't have children or didn't have children, whichever the case was, I believe that they get to a point in their lives where they use that as an excuse as to why they didn't bear children. I think that in a lot of cases, women don't feel whole when they don't become mothers. So I think that you get to a point to whether just telling people, well, I didn't want children. Well, usually you'll find that there's a reason that they couldn't conceive or have some kind of problem with birthing children. So
Right. I think I know for her, and this is different interviews that she's done. It's some things that is what she experienced in her childhood. I think that could have possibly deterred her from bearing children. Like you say, a lot of women won't come out and say, I can't have kids, because, everybody is not accepting of that, and then it comes, if you said, I can't have children, have you tried this? Have you tried that? It's like it's a no-win situation for a woman.
Well, it's no, it actually is a win situation. It just depends on how far you want to take it. You know,
Right. But
if
what I'm saying is how people project. Just say, for instance, if you say I can't have children, and
yeah,
instead of someone just saying, oh, okay, that's fine, they're gonna ask you that you go through,
well,
technology or
yeah, people are gonna ask you all sorts of
yeah,
questions, and I get that. But my point that I was trying to make about that is that, you know, people need to understand what fatherhood and motherhood is really all about. It really has nothing to do with genetics. If you look up motherhood and you look up fatherhood, you will find that it has nothing to do with bloodlines or DNA.
hmm,
It's just like when people say my father, and are talking about their God, right?
yeah,
Okay, well, you call him, a lot of people call him the Father or my Father in heaven or whatever term that they use, right?
right, hmm,
Well, genetically, he's absolutely not your father, right?
correct,
Okay, but he's your creator.
hmm,
His job is to father you, right?
guide,
Is that the concept?
yes, guidance, yep,
Okay, guidance. That's the same thing with motherhood and fatherhood. If a person has, say, a cousin who
hmm,
has lost their mother or father, and that person takes that cousin into their bosom, so to speak, and
hmm,
raises that child and rears that child, then that person is bringing motherhood or fatherhood to the table. That's
hmm.
what it's about. The word father only means to take you further.
And motherhood, it says the state of being.
See? Now, the state of being. Well,
Yeah.
I had a natural mother, right?
Hmm.
But if I look back through my life, my aunt was more impactful in my life in terms of giving me the love that I was seeking and wanting from motherhood, from the motherhood standpoint.
Right.
So that doesn't negate my natural mother as being my mother, but it kind of gave me the feeling that I had a bonus mother, if
Hmm.
you will. So,
Right.
but we haven't got there yet. We haven't arrived to understand. You know, it's just like a kid who gets a great stepfather in their life.
Yeah. And
Well,
I think it's some people that you can attract to or connect with that will give you that motherly or that fatherly, you know,
absolutely, there's
connection.
somebody.
Yeah.
It's not an accident because
Yeah.
if a man comes into a child's life, right, and
Hmm.
that relationship works out from the father son perspective, right,
Right.
then that's a great thing.
Hmm.
So the fact that two people laid down and made it, well, you got millions and millions of cases of where two people laid down, made a child, and neither one of them parented that child.
Yeah. I always say a woman can have a baby, a man can make a baby, but that doesn't mean that they have those motherly or fatherly instincts or
Absolutely.
compassion to care for that child. And that's why some parents, they know I can't take care of this child. So guess what? They try to give them, send them or let somebody else raise them that they feel can better take care of them. So yeah, just because you
Absolutely.
have a baby, that don't mean you a mother.
Absolutely. So guess what? I mean, I read the story that Mary did about motherhood,
Hmm.
and I felt a little sorry for her, um, because I don't think that women really want to make the statement publicly
Hmm.
that I didn't want children. That may be easier for her to say so she doesn't have to get into the pain of not being able to, either not being able to, or just not being lucky enough to conceive.
Right. And I think a lot of times it you go through life so long. I think it's almost like you be conditioned to think a certain way.
Well,
Once you reach it, just say for instance, like she 50, right? She 50. So in her mind it's like, I'm never gonna be a mother. But she didn't even say, you know what? I did think about having a family at this or that age, but it didn't work out. And sometimes I think it's women, depending on how you raise, you think it's supposed to be a perfect or a certain type of setting for you to conceive.
yeah.
Years ago you would think I had to be married to have a baby, and then if you had a baby and you wasn't married, then you were looked at different.
Well,
but then you could take a mother and a father that's not married, and you take a mother and a father that's married, and one household is no better than the other one if it's not a healthy household.
Yeah, but see, man has to get to the point to where they understand motherhood and fatherhood. We're not there.
And again, it all goes back to how we talk about what's considered societal norms and tradition.
Yeah.
How we were raised to think life is. In reality, we look at it from a totally different lens. I look at it from a different lens. You look at it from a different lens, because guess what? You've experienced having your own. So in some cases you understand, and then in some cases you go, now why did my mother, my aunt, or whoever tell me that? Now that was just stupid. That didn't even make no sense. So you don't roll that over to your upbringing when you raising your kids.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Nita.
Yeah.
We can use terms like it takes a village to raise a child, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, but if you realize that it takes a village to raise a child, you have to open your mind up to understand that you may be mothering or fathering some child that is not biologically yours. If you can't open your mind up to that, then how in the hell can you open your mind up to it takes a village?
Yeah, because when you said take a village, that means that goes, you have to discipline, you have to listen, you got to feed.
Exactly.
You have to be hands-on. Now, years ago, it was like that. Not to say it's not like that today in a lot of cases with your family and friends, but it's just totally different.
Well, you've got men who, some man has probably made Mary feel like she was inept as a woman, right? Mm-hmm. Probably, I don't know. But some man probably was in her life, and because she didn't conceive or whatever the case was, he has made her feel less than a woman because she couldn't give him a child. Men can be guilty of doing that kind of foolishness.
Right.
But a real man would look at other avenues if he loves that woman enough. A
Mm-hmm.
man will look at other avenues to bring a child into that family if that's what his woman needs to be whole. You got millions of kids out here with no parents.
Yeah.
I said to someone a couple of weeks ago, well, we were talking about this very same thing. I said, well, have you ever considered adoption? And the guy's thing was, oh, no. I don't want to bring no kid in here, and that kid has some crazy parents and this and that. Well, that's a real possibility because DNA is real. But what does that have to do with fatherhood?
Yeah.
Because you got
like
kids.
You said, if you want it bad enough, then it's alternative and it's options.
Exactly.
Of you being that
because
person.
you could have a baby of your own and pour everything into that child that you can, and that child grow up and still be a damn fool.
That is true. And then you could connect with little Roy down the street, and little Roy gonna come and take care of you.
Exactly.
And do you need anything? I'm going to Walmart. Mr. Glenn, I'm going to come take you to the barbershop and get your hair cut. And then you got your son over here that just come by and drop food off at the door, knock on and look in the door, wave, and keep it moving.
I mean, you can look at, you can take like Floyd Mayweather, who has his natural father still living, right? Mm-hmm. But you can listen to him in an interview, and he will talk about his business partner, Al Heyman. Because Al Heyman has been so profound in his life and in his business life and their relationship together that he'll say, well, my dad, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and then my bonus dad, Al Heyman.
Yeah.
Because these men, his natural dad gave him life, and his bonus dad gave him purpose and spirituality. So, you know, we got to get to the point where we understand love is love.
That's true.
Love is love. But we're so conditioned to, oh, I don't want nobody to know that, or I don't want someone to ask me a tough question.
And you know what's so funny?
Me.
That's like with me and with my nieces, my older nieces and nephews. And we spent a lot of time together as kids. You know, I used to babysit them and, you know, watching for the summer and different things like that. And I just remember my nephew talking, and he was like, he said, you know what? He said, my auntie was like my second mother. He said, my mom was at work. He said, my auntie made us breakfast, the same pancakes, the same oatmeal, you know. He said, but we had lunch. You know, my granny came home to make us dinner. He's like, but while my mother was at work, my aunt did a lot of stuff for us. She made sure we was, you know, took our shower. You know, he kind of just ran it down. I was sitting there like, I didn't look at it like that. And this was way before I even had a son.
Well, you know, it's just like with my daughter, Felicia, right? If I introduce her to you and I say, this is my daughter, Felicia, I don't have to explain to you what my lineage is, and all of this other shit that ain't your business, number one. And number two, I introduced her to you as my daughter, and that should be good enough. But see, people need to understand respect and boundaries.
Yeah.
If I introduce you, Nita, to someone and say, oh, well, this is my sister, Nita, I don't need you asking me about,
where she come from? Who is her mama?
Yeah, well, who is her mama? Well,
I ain't see her in y'all family picture.
Because, I mean, it's the equivalent of asking, what day did you and her mama screw? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said.
As if I owe that to you to define how this is my sister.
Yeah.
When you are my sister.
Yeah.
So I don't need to answer all this dumb stuff.
And that's true. Because think about it. People will see me and your relationship and be like, Glenn really think Nita cool. Well, but what they don't understand is we have unknown long history.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
To the point where what our old history, not even really including me, but family history, brings the relationship together that we have now. So it's like I took care of my family, you know, through from back in the day. So of course I'm gonna make sure I take care of her. Yeah. But people question like, why he always think she nice?
But
why
see, we always have to interject our ignorance and our bias into things instead of just saying, oh, you know what, that's nice. They got a great relationship.
Yep.
Oh, he sees her as his sister and she sees him as her big brother. Well, what's wrong with that? Nothing.
But nothing, like you said, people always gotta have to add extra. And then like you said, it doesn't take a lot for you to take somebody under your wings to show them or give them whatever it is that they need. But if it's long term, it's fine. But if it's short term, that's even better.
Man, do you know if we didn't have mentors, coaches, and stuff like that, there would be so many children that because of their situations with their biological people, there would be You know, it takes me back to a story when I was a little boy. There was a dog in my neighborhood, this girl dog, and this girl dog was always pregnant, always having puppies. And when she had the puppies, she would just leave them.
Mm.
But guess what? I would notice those puppies that she had will latch on to another dog, and that dog will raise those puppies. And you still see these dogs ripping and running through the alleys in a pack. So
Wow.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The dog could have puppies, but the dog had no maternal instincts. So it would just
Yeah.
have the puppies and leave them, but the puppies would survive because they would latch on to another
some-
dog.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody thought that that was strange.
That's true. I mean, and like you said, and speaking of it, so it happened with animals, and it also happens with humans.
Yes.
But I think people are, like we talked about, are conditioned to, just thinking that life, or it has to be structured this way for it to be normal, or, for it to be considered in line with what society puts in front of us.
Yeah,
That's
because
not always true.
when instead of trying to just fulfill your life and bring somebody else some joy in their life, I know a guy that is 50-ish, and he has no children of his own.
Mm-hmm.
And soon as any conversation comes up about children, he doesn't want to participate in that conversation at all. And I understand it because it's probably a little painful for him.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? There are many children that you could be in their lives and get the same fulfillment if you would just open up to it and look at what it really is all about.
Yeah.
Fatherhood has nothing to do with who screwed who. If that was the case, you wouldn't have so many people that have children of their own and they can't stand each other and they don't even communicate.
Yeah, that's true.
I know sons that are named after their fathers and they hate each other's guts.
And matter of fact, they'll be like, don't even call me that. They'll be to switch the whole name up.
Yeah,
Don't even call me Roy because I don't like my daddy. Well, why we can't call you Roy? Because I don't like my daddy. His name Roy too.
exactly.
Okay, we'll call you Scully, whatever, the nickname. But I mean, like I said, I think for Mary, I can agree with you a bit. I think every woman wants that experience. I think every woman at least thought about the experience of being a mother, even if it happened or if it didn't happen. And then in reality, you just have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, because
You know.
there's when you break it all down, we were put here to multiply. That's our purpose for being.
Yeah.
And if for some reason you can't or you didn't, that still doesn't put you out of the race because you have wisdom and knowledge that you can pass on to another child who may be in the position of not having a mother or a father.
Well, she said she was comfortable with her nieces and nephews.
Yeah, well, that's what most women say that ain't got no kids.
I don't know. I was real comfortable with my god kids before little Jason came.
Yeah, but see, you're looking at it in retrospect
Yeah.
because now you've had Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? You can say that, but the fact of the matter is you had Jason. Period.
Yeah, I did.
So even if you want to say that you were comfortable before you had him, that's really just inaccurate because you had him.
I had them. Yep.
There you
Because I
go.
didn't have to.
My life story. I had my son. I was 15.
Go
Wow.
to that mic right there so she can hear you. Right there in the middle.
Yeah, hello. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
can hear.
yeah. So my story was I had my son when I was 15, and my side of the family they wasn't in tune, but the mother of my son, her family, like again, that was the village, and the great grandmother was there, the grandmother was there, and then again the sister, she didn't have no children, but she raised my son. Like right now, she got him working with her in the bank. So
Wow.
so at the end of the day, that's the story. And at the end of the day, I looked up to her because she was a constant worker, but she used to be like try to tell me like, boy, what's good? And she understood my story, but she didn't fully understand my story. And you know, I was explaining to my son the other day, I was like, what you don't realize is I created you before you was even created, because I thought you up. So it was like I wanted you to be, you know, light skinned, because at the time, you know, the way it was in the 80s and the 90s where, you know, black wasn't how it is now. You know what I mean? So then I wanted you to be a banker because the Bushes and the Trumps, they parents or they great parents came from banking. And I was just explaining this to him the other day. So yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, so again, but the whole thing was, it was a blessing in disguise because I was a grown man, but I still was a child. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like you said, it took, even though like you said I was 15, I knew it. I still had a vision for my son, for my child.
yes.
And a lot of people will of course walk away. But of course, you can embrace and say, you know what, his aunt took, you know, help take care of him. It is what it is. And at this point, now that you're grown, you can have a good, substantial conversation with them about life because
Yes.
of what you've experienced.
Yes.
You know, good and bad. He at the age now that he can understand. It might sound, you know, sometimes when parents explain things to you, you be sitting there like, that's it. Like, it should be more to the story. And they be sitting there looking at you like, no, that's it.
But see, here's the
they're
thing.
excited.
Here's the thing, Nita. At 15, no one would have been angry at him if he had just walked away and said, man, the hell with this. I ain't but 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't. And the
Mhm.
child had people in his life, such as his aunt, that said, you know what? Together, we can do this and make it work.
And
Yeah.
then, and then the whole other part of the story was, me and the mother didn't last, so it was even more complicated. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
she
But
was,
you're 15, so it's like, wow.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean,
I still had to stand up and be a man and understand what a man was, and then also what I seen with my mother and father, and you know, my father was already gone before my son was even born. So I had to really, really, really be a man. You know what I mean?
And figure it out.
Through all of the circumstances where, you know, even they looked at me like, you little motherfucker, you got my little daughter pregnant or whatever. Excuse my French, but I still had to stand up and stick to my word and still play my part the best I could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where, at the end of the day, my son respects me now, because he's like, wow, you've been through all of that, and wow. And I was just explaining this to him before I left.
You know,
Yeah.
it's another guy who says to me all the time, man, I sure wish my relationship was like you and Lucy's relationship. And when I tell him, I say, listen, man, this ain't no accident. I put the work in for what you're seeing is not by accident.
Mm-hmm.
I did the work to make sure that me and my son could be who we are today.
Right.
You know, but people who don't understand the importance of fatherhood, who just think that because you made a child, that you and that child gonna be solid. It don't work that way.
That's true. And you have to put work in daily. When they happy with you, when they mad with you,
Yeah.
it don't matter. You still got to give them the same type of love.
Yeah, you have to even know when it's time to back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like my son is only 15, and you know, in some ways, I as a mother, I do have to learn his temperament in certain areas, and go, you know what, he needed space. I'm gonna leave him alone.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I might not say nothing to him for a couple hours. Guess what? At some point, he gonna come downstairs when
because
he ready.
you have an obligation also to let them fail.
Yeah.
Because if people don't make their mistakes, how do they learn? You learn from your mistakes. That's how you become better. But some
Yeah.
people think that if I just smother them, give them everything that they want, that they gonna be these great kids, and that's not the way it's done.
Mm-mm.
You have to know when to say, you know what? I've talked to you about this subject. I told you what I thought was right, and you chose to do something different. So you know what? Handle it your damn self.
That pretty much be it.
That's
But
called love.
as a parent with grown children, Glenn, is it hard did it take you time to be like that? Were you always like that? Or did you just get to a point and really realize that's just how I have to be?
Well, you know what I did, in all honesty, as a parent? I did everything that somebody didn't do for me.
Right.
And I think where I could have been better is understanding that girls are different than boys, number one.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
And knowing how I was the type of father, I am the type of father that thinks that girls are princesses, and I want to treat them that way. Well,
Right.
guess what? The truth of the matter is, some girls are princesses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth of the matter. And you have to reciprocate back to them what they display to you.
Right.
So if
And
I
that's a part of knowing what they need, because everybody don't need the same type of love. Everybody don't need the
Exactly.
same.
yes,
and
You
they
know,
don't and
like
they
they
don't
said, the
receive
five
it the
love
same
languages.
way.
yes, yes.
And they don't receive it the same way.
That's true.
So you have to figure out these people and adjust, just like, we say that, oh, well, I treat all my kids the same. Well, guess what? They're not all the same.
Exactly.
So how in the hell you going to treat somebody the same when they're different?
Exactly.
That is true. But again, I think it, like you said, I think it take a certain, you have to experience some things. And guess what? You also have to be a person, and this is in any situation, to see where you made a mistake at and then say, oh, let me do better the next time. Some people don't want to realize that, dang, I messed up with 1 and 2. Okay, let me do a little bit better with 3 and 4. And then by the time you get to 5, you might have it a little more down packed where you can transition that last one to be a little bit different than the older. It's not a right or wrong way. It's just learning from those experiences.
No,
And that,
Yes.
no, it's not a right or wrong way to parent. The best way to parent, in my opinion, is to believe in the things that you're trying to display to the child and
mhm.
walk it like you talk it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I consider myself a successful father. And
yeah,
that success is only based on the fact that my children conduct themselves better than I did.
mhm,
Yes.
That's
yeah,
that's my job. My job is to make you better. Okay,
yeah,
if that's just one iota, then I've done my job.
Exactly.
mhm,
But see, when they get grown, you have to get to the fact that you have to be able to say I did my job and mean it. And after you've done your job is complete. Now let them go into the world and put these things to use.
mhm,
And that, for me, that was the toughest part, backing away and saying, it's like with Luce. You know what I mean? Now my method is I'm going to speak to you on a subject one time. And I'm going to tell you everything that I can about that subject. And then I'm going to leave it to you to decide whether or not you want to take my advice or not take my advice. But
yeah,
I'm not going to get to the point where I'm going to fight my son if he doesn't do something the way that I want him to do it. I'll just leave it now and say, hey, man, let me know how it worked out for you.
and I think the best thing is having those because my parents were older, but having those moments of, I remember when my mom or dad told me this 10 years ago, and you were able to apply it to your life 10 years later, because you're not really understanding or paying attention to what they're saying. Yes. Apply it and then be able to come to that parent and say, Mom or Dad, you remember when you said this, or that? And they go, I did. Or, they may remember, and you can shed some light on how it affected you. Like you say, I did my job then. You got it. I'm glad you got it.
Well, it's like I use, a lot of things my mother said to me, and I thought that lady was crazy while she was here on earth. But a lot of things that woman said to me, I know now to be truth.
Okay.
I didn't know it then.
Yeah.
But I know it now. And it wasn't because she was the smartest woman in the world, but that didn't matter. You know what mattered? She was doing her job the best that she knew how.
Yeah.
The best that she knew how.
Yeah.
So did she leave me with something impactful? She absolutely did.
Yes.
I just didn't know it at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
She used to say to me, boy, it's a long walk down, but it's even a longer walk back. And I used to say, lady, what are you talking about? But guess what? What I've learned in my life is that she's absolutely right. That means that when you wrong someone, it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
But you don't know how hard it is to get that forgiveness for wronging someone.
Yeah.
That's factual. I know that to be factual. So, it's not about smarts. It's not about intelligence in terms of parenting. If you're an intelligent person, well, that's a plus. But if you got enough love in your heart for your children, you can give them what they need if you just remember that you're trying to create a person that's greater than yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that goes, and just kind of to sum it up, that's with communication and understanding.
Yeah, because I want to slap you down right now, Nita.
What? Slap me?
That would be a lesson. We would call that a lesson.
Glenn, if you slap me, my daddy ain't here, but I'm calling my daddy on you.
See, but you're going to call for your daddy, because what you know is that's the only person that you for sure know that if somebody slaps you, he coming to see about you.
Glenn, you ain't even got to finish getting the word out. Daddy, somebody, and it's a cry. He don't care. He probably could have been preaching. And if one of my siblings called, he'd be like, I got to go.
There you go. See, that's
literally because he was that protective. He was that type of father.
Now let me ask you this, and then we'll get off of here.
Yeah.
Do you believe the kind of man that your father was, that he could have had another young girl in his life that he may have been mentoring or a cousin or whatever, and somebody slapped her? Would he still feel that same way?
Yes.
There you go. That's why I'm telling you what I said when we so busy being into genetics. See, because the truth of the matter is, this is the truth of the matter.
We're one and the same anyway.
Yeah, we're one and the same, because guess what? If we did DNA tests on everybody, we would find out that a whole lot of kids that got our name are not biologically ours. Okay? That's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
So to father a child or to mother a child, whether you want to believe it or not, has nothing to do with sex.
Well, y'all heard that from the source. Good topic. That was really good. That was really, really good. Because and you asking a question about my dad, like I said, my dad was a pastor, so he came, we came across a lot of men and women. And well, young men and young ladies. But he always, like you say, whatever he put into us, a lot of times if those children needed it, it was there too.
There you go. So guess what? He was fathering.
Yeah.
We just don't call it that because we think that fathering means
it gotta be
I slept
seed.
with some woman, we did it, and her stomach got fat.
Yeah.
No, that's procreation. That's not fathering. That's procreation.
So I'm gonna tell my listeners, we're gonna come up with the Glenn Cannon DNA.
Well, you guess what?
What?
I'm scared to do that.
How big you say that? I'm the president.
Right. But very good topic, very good discussion. But I hope that we've helped some people with this topic, because there are hundreds and thousands of people who can't bear children or haven't had children. And you need to know that there is hope. It is hope. You just have to understand that you were put here for a certain reason. And that certain reason may be to be something in someone's life. Period. You may want to get with a woman and y'all do what y'all do and go through a pregnancy and all of that stuff. I get it. Because in a lot of cases we think that's what makes us a man. But making children is not what defines a man. What defines a man is what he does on this earth while he's here. That's what defines a man and a woman.
Well, gentlemen, if you thought you needed to know what a man was, Glenn just told you. What a father was, Glenn just told you.
Stay out of grown folks' business.
But this was a great discussion, though.
And I was chilling with him yesterday. I'm like, I need to chill with him.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We always.
See,
I don't know how
him.
we end up going over, but Glenn and we're gonna wrap it up in a minute. Speaking of, like I said, I watched this interview with Steve Harvey, and if you get a chance, you should watch it. However, no different than you, he was talking about people that came into his life that helped him to get to where he was. And it was one or two gentlemen that no longer works for him or with him that worked with him for a long period of time. However, they went on to create successful businesses on their own. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing was, the show that he was on, those two guys had some impact on the show with the two interviewers. It's called Earn Your Leisure. So two of the guys that worked for Steve, of course, the host told him, he took what you showed him. He took the knowledge that he learned from you. He said, he tell us this all the time. Steve taught me how to do this, or I learned this when I worked with Steve. I learned that. So again, a business relationship didn't work out, but guess what? That bonding or that mentoring relationship, it worked. And then guess what? They're continuing to produce and to pour into other people.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it's really all about. When I first started working for Prince, I thought that, oh, wow, I got this great opportunity to work with this guy, and this is going to really do something for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it did. But guess what it also did? It did something for him.
Right.
Because the job that he brought me on to do, he had no idea of the knowledge that I brought to the table outside of the music industry.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So I went in thinking, oh, what a great opportunity for me. But you know what I found? It was a great opportunity for him as well.
Yeah. Because you impacted him on, like you say, on a whole different level than, like, he probably didn't know that you housed whatever it is that he needed. And you didn't probably know that he really needed anything from you outside of what you were hired to do.
Yeah, because, he called us his Detroit players. Because the guys that I brought in under my tenure rode like I rode because I was able to lead in a certain way. So when he seen us, when he seen the unity that we brought to the table as a unit, because he was looking at me as an individual. He was looking at my partner as an individual. But when he saw how we rode in terms of doing the street marketing, then he was like, my Detroit players. We didn't know at the time what he was really saying, but what he was saying was these dudes bring a different kind of vibe to what I'm doing.
Yeah, he felt he trusted y'all and comfortable with. And I think a lot of times it is the unity behind a person.
It's
you know,
always,
how everyone
it's
attracts.
always the unity.
Yeah,
it's always
how
the unity.
People attract to them, the production, you know, what they produce, what comes with, you know, when the words come out your mouth and it all works together, that's a good look.
Absolutely.
You cannot even have the top notch knowledge, but if you're surrounded with unity, guess what? We all gonna figure this out together.
Yeah. And speaking of the unity, so we can get out of here, as you see, next to Osnita's curls is the poster for Beautiful Noise. Again, Beautiful Noise will be premiering May 21st at the Bel Air Theater Complex, okay? You can get tickets from anyone at Vent Radio, anyone at Street Noise Rodimus. We also will probably make tickets available online for people who like to purchase online. And that information, be on the lookout. Every day you'll be seeing something coming out there talking about Beautiful Noise. But we want everybody in the building to support this film and come out and have a great time. It's going to be, I mean, we're going to do it up right. Red carpet and all. So red carpet is at 6:30. Movie starts at 7:30. Come on out. Get your outfits together because it is a premiere. So we don't want y'all up in there looking like y'all just left the gas station or Barton, or I said Barton Cable. Lord have mercy. Barton Cable ain't been around in 25 years.
Don't bring Barton Cable, bring Xfinity. Xfinity's new Barton is off.
But we want y'all sharp and dressed to the hilt, and we gonna have a good Hollywood night in Detroit. Okay, that's Beautiful Noise, the movie. All right.
As Glenn would say, you better come gussied up.
Yeah, you better get gussied up, cause Osnita gonna be killing it.
Oh, Glenn, I don't know what I'm gonna wear, but I know it's gonna be hot. That's all I know. I can't wait. So I'm excited. So again, of course, y'all know, check me out Wednesday on my Facebook page for Wind Down Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And after that, I will see you guys next Saturday at 1 o'clock on Fashion, Flair, and Lifestyle. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day. What happened to my phone? There it goes.
Fashion, Flair, Lifestyle. Fashion, Flair, Lifestyle. Yeah. What's the topic for today?